All right. All right. All right. All right. Thank you for joining me this morning. Um, it was kind of easy to wake up. I was woken up by my son who was freezing. He wanted to get into bed. And generally, I don't want to have my children get into bed with me. So it did wake me up out of a good dream. Well, it was a story dream and I was deep into it. And I think it was a positive dream. I don't, you don't remember dreams. That's just the thing it is. And so I go, "Hey, well, I could go." He was cold, so I go, "I could tuck you in." And so I tucked him in. He only had 1 blanket. Yeah, we don't turn on the heater at night because I told you if you're with me last time yesterday, I said our bill was $700 plus. What the heck? Anyways, we're trying not to have the heater going all night long. So we've just been turning it off and turning it on in just certain moments, just so that our house doesn't get to like 40, 50 degrees, however cold it is regularly outside. Again, we don't have a lot of insulation. The insulation in our house is terrible, but it does insulate just a little bit. So, we do have blankets, and my bed was warm. And no, I don't want my children to come into my room just because they're cold. So I'll tuck them in. If they're cold and if they're afraid and needing my support, then yeah, come to my bed, snuggle with me, and that's totally fine. I'm a good snuggler. Um, but thank you for waking me up this morning, or waking up with me this morning. It was 15 minutes before my alarm went off, so I did go back in my bed and kind of just sit there and be warm for 10 minutes before my alarm goes off. It went off and I got up pretty easily. So here I am. Good times. Um, yeah, so thanks for joining me wherever you are, whatever time of day you're here at, listening in and joining me on this journey through Proverbs. Let's get to it. So we're on day 76, Proverbs 12, 20, 21 in the ESV. If you want to go ahead and look at the baselines, just go ahead and read the description below. And you could go ahead and read what is the baseline. And the baselines always start with the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, because Proverbs is all about wisdom. And it always is talking about two different sides, which is the wicked person versus the righteous person. Everything that is said, you must take with a grain of salt, as in we are not perfect people. We can't do everything perfectly, and we do the best that we can. We are slowly being sanctified by the blood of the blood of Jesus and through the Holy Spirit to become better people and to be closer and closer to the image that we are to be in God's eyes. And God is already seeing us as fellow heirs. He's, we are His children, and we must continue to do the best that we can. There's only a couple things that Jesus said that we're supposed to be doing, and that is love God and love others. It's pretty simple. And by loving others, that means reaching out and sharing the gospel um, as part of his work, but also part of his work is making disciples. And making disciples is a constant thing you need to be doing weekly or however long it takes, how many times you do that during the week. Discipling as a baseline is meeting regularly with someone and sharing your life with them. Now, you may be discipling someone as in your children, and that is a constant daily effort that you are constantly sharing and being an example and living life and teaching it with your children. And that's something you need to be doing regularly. But if you find, not but, and if you find other upstanding righteous adults who are also on this journey of being Christ-like and doing the best that they can, following the baselines that are said over here in the description. Yeah, go ahead and have them disciple your children too. You know, that's just the way to go. It takes a community to raise a child. The community of your specific family, that's a community, but also the community out large, which is your community out there. Why am I going to do all this? That's pretty crazy. My buddy just left for work. He wakes up early as me when he's working on those days. Um, always say goodbye and hello and greet each other with a kiss. I would kiss everybody. Greet your brothers and sisters with a holy kiss. Mwah! There you go. There's your kiss for the morning. Hope you enjoy it. It encourages you. But yeah, so let's get to it. Just want to let you know that I did do before I went through commentaries and kind of said what the commentary said. I try to take out some things from them and make sure that I'm in the right, as in there is agreement in what I'm saying. I don't want to say anything contentious. So, or I do want to say things contentious, but I would like to have a discussion. So I'll discuss things with you. So if you want to have anything in the comments that you want to discuss, go ahead and do that. That's totally good. All right, let's do this. We're on day 76. Thank you for joining me. His journey. Actually, for me, it's getting close to the end of the year. One of the things that's really cool is that uh, we've reached the 80th day of my school year. So it's kind of interesting to see how quickly the school year is ending. We have 180 days of the school year. And so starting tomorrow, we're going to be in our double digits day left because we're in triple digits because I said 100 days still left to school because I have a counter in my classroom. It's kind of a thing. Anyways, but we're in day 76 in our journey through Proverbs. We're still in chapter 12. We'll be in chapter 12 for, let me see, about 4 more days. We got 4 more days of, after this, 4 more days of chapter 12, and then we'll get to 13. But yeah, slowly and steadily, we're getting through the book of Proverbs. We're going to get through all of it. I think it's a good journey, and we will enjoy it together. All right, here we go. Proverbs 12:20-21 in the ESV. Deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. No ill befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. So when I read this the first time, I already had a lot to say about it. So I'll go ahead and go off of that. Um, see if I remember what I said, but I always do that first so I know what I thought at the beginning before I actually look at commentaries. But I did look at commentaries. It's just the way it is. You should. You should always look at wise counsel, and that's what it says in Proverbs, wise counsel. I am not a Bible scholar. I am not a seminary student, although I went to Bible college um, just to get my teaching credential. And that's the only reason why I went to college. It just so happens I went to Biola University in La Mirada. So I am a graduate. I am a postgraduate. Is that what you call it? Because I got my master's there. But I did not go to like a seminary per se. And so I am not well versed. And actually, in my mind, I'm not that kind of a research person. My wife is more that. She loves research. She loves seeing, getting into that space. I personally am just like to talk things out. My wife likes to have like the research behind it and everything, which is good. You should have that. You should research. I should look up what I say and make sure that I am in what I believe and what doing right. So you should too. Okay. But this whole thing right here, about 600 words, about 650 words probably, was all in was all straight from the tone, straight from the dome, and I used the commentary to check to see if I'm correct in that. And generally speaking, the way I came across these verses was pretty spot on based on commentary. Um, so okay, so this is a purple. Deceit is in the heart, those who devise evil, right? And those who have peace, which is an interesting organization of it, because the the subject comes second for the first part of verse 20, and the subject is first in the second part of, so it kind of flipped subject verbs and stuff like that. Again, and this is it. And the righteous is the second part. no ill befalls. Okay, that's the results. And this one goes where the wicked is first, which is interesting. They flip flopped. So that's my English teacher going, oh, it's like, oh, how do they organize this? So I'm looking at how they organize it. So notice, see, like this one, it goes um, predicate, subject, subject, predicate, predicate, subject, subject, predicate. so, so if you want to look at it that way, it's the predicate, the second part of the verse. It's not the subject. Um, so for instance, like verse 20, the first part, those who devise evil, there's deceit in their heart. And again, it didn't say it, but the person who devises evil in the heart is actually the wicked person. So again, this dichotomous ideas of wicked versus righteous, righteous versus wicked, and those type of people. So yeah, and just always remember that when we're talking about wicked and righteous, is that wicked is a person who is seeking the destruction of other people, and ultimately it has destroys themselves, and they're lying, they're deceitful, they actually plan, which is what it is, devise evil on the verse 20. Devising evil, they have their they have malicious intent. And so they are actually planning the destruction of other people. And one really good thing is why you don't want to say black and white on this one. There are these people and those people. I believe everyone has those kind of things in their in on their minds. It's not necessarily in their heart, and that's their person, but they are prone. We are prone for emotional outbursts, especially when it comes to road rage. Road rage is a thing, and so we want to devise in our hearts ways in which the person who is causing our kind of uncomfortability or road rage in our hearts, it's kind of formulating in our thoughts and minds and everything like that. And we think, oh, I wish that person gets in an accident. You don't actually want them to get in an accident, but if they do, we're like, see? So it's pretty interesting that we ourselves are devising evil in our hearts. We don't actually plan for it, but I guess the petty thing that I could do would be like someone passes me up, and then for some reason, the way the cars are formed, we ended up thinking, or I don't know, it ends up where we're boxing them in. That's kind of a petty thing. But for a person that's really deceitful, it's bad. They really do bad things to other people. Deceptive, deceitful, and really, really trying to hurt people. Like road rage thing is, you have to get over it. Just drive the way you drive, and if they interact and hit you and stuff like that, yeah, go ahead and prosecute them, whatever. Um, but yeah, just ignore them, slow down a little bit so that they could get past you and all that kind of stuff. Let them do it. Don't try to fight them on that. Yeah, advice about for driving, whatever. Um, but yeah, it's if you're devising evil, that is in your heart, or you are in it. You are in that space where you're it's like overtaking your life, that you would actually want to devise evil on another person, and that's in your heart. That's getting in your heart, and you need to work on that, my brothers. If you're thinking about that, maybe it could be you're not liking what's happening in your church. You have um, a terrible breakup or something like that. And yes, you can be a believer and a righteous person and may go to a terrible church where the pastor is not doing anything, or you just experienced a breakup, or you got divorced for whatever reason, and you just couldn't. There's no reconciliation with the person that you're partnering with, and you can't. It's irreparable. It's possible, and I could see how emotionally you'll want to hurt someone or react or lash out. The people who are evil will actually lash out, and but I feel like that's not for us. We could fight for the relationship and try to make it better, go to counseling and all that kind of stuff. For churches, we could go ahead and even though your pastor and your leadership's not doing anything, you yourself can be the leader because I'm in that situation. Uh, I want a place where my children could go ahead and get fed when they go to church. I just remember going to Sunday school and learning Bible stories from my my Sunday school teachers. Now, I'm the one. Yes, as a parent, I should be doing that too. But it's good to have another adult do that too, to feed into them. As my children get older, because they're forming right now, then they themselves can go ahead and be leaders and run their own small groups and disciple others. Because that's the way it should go. But anyways, if there is a problem, then I be the solution. Yeah, I hear that. But the people who are divisive, who has deceit in their heart and they devise evil, no, they're not finding ways to make the things better. They're actually making things worse and they're being destructive, which contrasts to the person who has joy in their heart. If you are following Jesus and having the wisdom baselines and fearing the Lord and all that kind of stuff, you are finding joy in your heart in knowing that you have a future salvation, that you will be saved at the end times, that you have a hope in heaven, that your life is following a path that is going towards God and doing the best that you can. And I'm not saying and that person actually does plan peaceful situations, peaceful outcomes, and they plan the future and they plan ways in which to kind of better their situation. They are not beholden to their condition, but try to make their condition the best that they can. And that is a truth, is that your condition can be really positive or negative, whether you're following or not, following Jesus or not. And so they still plan and do their best and have a good attitude about their condition, and they just move forward as they should because they have joy in their heart knowing that through their faith and belief in God that they will continue and plan for the future and do the works. I was just talking about this with one of the guys that I'm discipling, and he was talking about um, reconciliation and faith and how does that works, how's that all and everything like that. So and I was just telling them in the end of it all, um, we when it comes to works, we're working because as a result or a positive consequence to following Jesus. And if we're followers of Jesus and we believe in him and we love him and we understand that he loves us, that we will do our best to do good in this world. I'm not a sponge. I am an active person who lives in a community of people, and I want to go out and further God's kingdom. And part of his commandment is to go out there and make disciples. That's what we should be doing. That's like pretty baseline of what we should be doing is, well, I guess sharing the gospel, but then also uh, being a being a discipler. It's funny. My friend said we're in a kind of seminar. Was it a seminar? It was a 1 day seminar of discipleship, and he talked to a bunch of and we're talking to a bunch of pastors and leaders, and he said, if you are not discipling, you are still immature in the faith. Good morning, my daughter. My daughter's right here, standing next to me. Um, yeah, sure, you can go on my back. There she is. Yeah, and he called him out, and I actually believe that. I actually believe that if you are not if you are not discipling yourself, being a disciple yourself, or discipling others, then you are not following Jesus. You're still drinking milk. What are you doing? You're just preparing these messages and stuff. Messages, messages is just messages. You're like teaching and stuff like that, and you do that once a week, or how many services you do. You do that. So pastors, I'm calling you out. But if you're not investing your life in a couple of people, in meeting with them regularly and like really sharing life with those people and meeting them with them regularly, then you're still immature. You need to be going out there and meeting and doing that. So, anyways, that was only verse 20, wasn't it? You should be planning to be doing that. That's verse 20. All right, let's go to verse 21. No ill befalls the righteous. Basically, You get positive outcomes when you're righteous. Um, but that doesn't mean that you aren't having issues. You will have issues in this life. The human condition is hurt. It's hurt and stress and everything like that. That's the human condition. But um, you will still not. You'll still kind of have positive outcomes because your attitude of your heart reflects the outcomes of things that will happen. And so when I say no ill befalls, you're doing right and the things that will happen will I'm trying to get a good example in my head. I'm not thinking of one. But I actually believe this that when you're following Jesus and doing the best that you can, following the baselines and all that kind of stuff, um, when it's no ill befalls, it's like in the end, it will work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm going to do the best that I can to make it that way. And I guess going for first 20-second part, you're planning for it. Guess it's boring for her. Um, but the wicked are filled with trouble. I'm just saying. It's stressful being wicked. It's stressful. No one mourns the wicked, and it's it's. I'm talking a lot here. This is a long one. I'll just end it. I'll just end it pretty soon. Yeah, when you're wicked and you're being deceitful, planning evil, planning devising evil, and lying, being deceptive, and all that kind of stuff, it's really stressful. It weighs on the souls of everybody else and weighs on your soul, and it's hurtful, and it's you're destroying yourself and others. But the righteous person, obviously, positive outcomes because positive things are coming out of their hearts out of their mouth from their hearts. And so here's the thing I got from the commentary. Here it is. It's the righteous encounter trouble, the wicked live in it. The righteous encounter trouble, the wicked live in it. The righteous will always have trouble. It's just the way it is, human condition. But they find ways in which to get out of the trouble, right? Or work through the trouble, whatever it is. Okay, counseling, ignoring it, having a better attitude. But the wicked, they're living in it. They're in trouble. Trouble comes to them. The things they do have negative consequences, and trouble is coming to them because in their hearts, it's what they are. It's what they are. So, so this is all about the heart. What is in your heart? And I hope that you have Jesus in your heart first and foremost, but you have a positive attitude about the life that you have, even if you're in a hard situation. Having Jesus specifically will give you the hope for the future and hope that it will be a better life. If not in this life, it'll be a better life in the life to come. So that is the hope that we have as believers. And let's try to make the best of what we are and what we have right now. Okay. Anyways, that's all I have. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.